Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to calculate our monthly payment. Now, for all you math wizards out there, you could probably take the interest rate, the number of years, and the loan amount and calculate the monthly payment using some formulas or some math equations that you know. But we're not going to do that. We're going to rely on Excel. Excel knows the formulas for that, and it has one built in. It's called the payment function. So to do that, we're going to be looking here at the middle of page Excel 280. We're going to fill it in. We're going to hit equals, then we're going to hit a minus sign. The payment function always returns a negative number. It's used for subtracting amounts out of things. We want it to show up as positive, so we're going to put a minus to change the negative into a positive. So we hit minus, we type PMT. That says we're using the payment function. The first part of our payment function is going to be our interest rate. This is going to be a monthly interest rate because it's our monthly payment. To calculate the monthly interest rate, we type rate, and the rate here is referring to this cell up here. When we named that, we named it to rate. So rate divided by 12 is going to be your monthly interest rate. Put a comma in, and the next part of the function here is the number of payments. The number of payments is going to be years. That's going to be this cell where it says 18 times by 12. So 18 years, 12 months in a year, 18 times 12 is the number of years. The last part of the function is the loan amount, and the loan amount is just going to be this cell right here. I click on it, it fills in loan amount for me. Close that off, and I hit enter, and Excel calculates the monthly payment for me. The next thing we're going to do is we're just going to fill in the total interest and the total cost. Using a little bit of logic there, you can figure out the total interest. You can follow along in your book too. You don't have to be a math wizard to follow this lesson. The total interest is going to equal the number of years times by 12. That's going to be the number of months we pay times by the monthly payment. And that's going to be the amount that we end up paying. So we subtract from that the loan amount. And that shows us how much interest we paid. We borrowed $235,000. We paid the amount here in years times 12 times monthly payment. The remainder there is going to be our interest. So $142,000 in interest on a $265,000 house. It's kind of frightening when you think of houses that way. The total cost is simply going to be the price of the house plus the total interest. So on an 18-year loan at 5.75% interest, a $265,000 house with a down payment of $30,000 ends up costing you $407,000, almost $408,000. Now you can use this to fill in other data too, to see what it would cost for things such as a car. So let's go ahead. At the bottom of page 282, you can see there's some new data to put in there. I'm going to pause it, throw that data in there, and you can see how everything adjusts. Actually, I'm not going to pause it. I'm just going to put in the word Prius there because I want you to see the cells change as I fill in the data. So we put in Prius, then for the price we put in $25,500. Now we have a huge down payment from the house, but we're going to change that to $52,80. So we borrow $20,000 on a Prius, and at 10.25% interest over 5 years. You can see your monthly payment on that car will be $432.11, and you'll end up paying $31,000 for that Prius. With total interest you'll be paying is $5,706. Maybe you can get a great financing deal, 0.9% interest, and you can see the amount is much lower. You save a lot of money on getting a deal like that. So that's that. I'm going to fill in the data to return us back to the house we were looking at. Okay, we have our house loan information back in, and in the next walkthrough we'll be learning about creating a data table.